11 adult students assess the Confederacy and the Civil War. This research study investigates how adult students assess narratives about the Civil War and the Confederacy. This research study documents 11 participants' perceptions of the Civil War and the Confederacy. This research study aims to document how adult students view learned narratives of the Civil War and the Confederacy with an 8-question open-ended survey and to provide some clarity of how the Confederacy is currently perceived. The 8-question open-end survey was designed and conducted on Google Forms. The 8-question open-end survey in this research study was designed to gauge how adult students feel about learning about the Confederacy and the 1619 Project in American Social Studies classes, how much adult students know about the Confederacy and Black people's roles in the Civil War, and how Confederate sympathy impacts today's America. This survey asked participants if they could name a Confederate and their role in the Civil War. All but one participant answered General Robert E. Lee. Participants were also asked if they could name a Black person and their role in the Civil War. Over 1/3 of the participants named Frederick Douglass. Over 1/3 of the participants could not name a Black person in the Civil War. 18% named Underground Railroad leader Harriet Tubman, and one participant named Officer Charles Young. In this study, participants were asked, does learning about the Confederacy build sympathy for their Confederate cause? A participant responded, no, I believe that education is the way to open the mind to truths. If a person learns about justice and reads about injustice, it clarifies that the farther we get away from the Confederate ideas and towards equality and respect, the better off our nation will be. Another participant responded as, I think we'd be hard-pressed to find a school that glorifies the Holocaust or builds sympathy for the German Nazis. However, I bet there are many Southern schools that promote the Confederacy during history lessons, especially with such misleading terms like state rights are used in place of human trafficking. A third participant answered, teaching about the Confederacy is not bad in itself. The way it is taught matters. In this survey, participants were asked, what is your opinion of the Confederacy? One participant responded, the Confederates to me were a pro-slavery white supremacist group dedicated to diminishing equality. Participants were also asked, do American and Confederate values differ? In response to this question, one participant said, yes, I do. American values involve inclusion and allowing people the opportunity to pursue happiness and the American dream, while Confederates seeks to oppress blacks and do all they can do to support white supremacy. In this study, 64% of the participants agreed that the 1619 Project should be taught in American social studies classes. Limitations to this study arise from participants' honesty in their responses. This study shows America remains divided on the differences between the Confederacy and America. Moving forward, this study shows that American social study teachers should continue to teach about the Confederacy. However, American social study teachers should teach about the Confederacy in a way that does not lead to Confederate sympathy or contribute to strained race relations in America. This study shows that American social study teachers should teach the 1619 Project, as students know less about Black people's contributions to the Civil War than their Confederate counterparts. Thank you for listening.